So when Eala plays, we all get together and we all watch her support her as a group of people.
So incredible. This is my first time in the duel, so thank you guys.
We pay only when Alex plays.
So the year subscription, just in case.
The monthly.
Oh, the monthly.
You only pay when she plays. It's paid to play.
Get the yearly. Yo, it's $77. I love the honesty.
On March 7th, 2026, a Filipino fan standing inside the BNP Paribas Open said those 7 words. Not muttered, not uploaded anonymously online, but spoken aloud on tape to Indian Wells tournament organizers. Hours later, while still fighting back emotions on the court, Alex Eala herself explained why 115 million people have made one 20-year-old the most powerful ticket in women's tennis. The question is whether Eala's admirers will continue to attend events solely for her or if they will eventually fall in love with tennis itself. Leave a comment with your response. Aya has just defeated Diana Yastrema in a 3-set battle. 4-6, 7-5. Every point sounded like a football stadium in a late-night Indian Wells thriller. While she was still cooling off, hundreds of people lined up outside the venue to get autographs. It wasn't a Grand Slam championship. The world number 32 participated in this round of 64 match. Other courts were half empty across the grounds. The WTA cannot disregard that contrast. This week, Indian Wells faced criticism for new ticketing regulations that made Stadium 2 appear empty throughout the first few rounds. There were noticeable gaps in the spectators and sporadic clapping as the top 10 players entered the court. Following a commanding 6-4, 6-2 victory in the second round, the world's top-ranked Aryna Sabalenka, with 11 wins and 1 loss this year, observed the enthusiasm of the fans and mentioned how many seats were occupied on a Friday. She was appreciative by the turnout. Now think about what was going on EA's court at the same time. Only standing room, with flags hanging from each railing. 2 million Filipinos reside in California alone, and fans have traveled for hours from Los Angeles, San Diego, and the Inland Empire. Filling a stadium for a player who is ranked 31 places lower than Sabalenka. The crowd had to be acknowledged by the world number 1. They were unable to be forced to leave by the world number 32. Indian Wells was not the starting point of this pattern. Sulla Talak, the tournament director, publicly revealed that it had begun to pick up speed in Dubai 3 weeks prior. Every time she played, the stadium was packed. People were frantically attempting to obtain tickets, according to Tahak. It is unlike anything we have ever seen. A tournament director, who has hosted all of the biggest names in women's tennis, said that a player outside of the top 30 created demand he had never seen. That isn't fan fervor. That is a disruption of the market. Even more astounding are the stats off the court. Eala's pre-event press conference during the Australian Open in January had 171,000 YouTube views. 9,000 people attended Sabalenka's. Before a single ball was hit, the most powerful force in the women's game, the world number 1 3-time Grand Slam champion, was outdrawn 19-1. It was a 20-year-old who had never advanced to a Slam quarterfinal, not a rival champion. Then came the quote that summed everything up on March 7th. The statement that is currently reverberating through every WTA boardroom was delivered by an Indian Wells fan who was chatting to officials and was later quoted in Philstar. Only when Alex performs do we pay. That isn't just fandom. Exclusive economic loyalty is what that is. In simple terms, a whole population is telling the sport that their wallet's open for one name and close for everyone else. It's also visible to other players. Coco Gauff made an incredible statement when standing at the press platform following her victory over Eala in the Dubai quarterfinals. I apologize, but I would like to thank Alex for introducing a new audience to the sport. I know you guys are probably here for him. This environment, in my opinion, is fantastic for the sport. The winning player gave the losing player credit for her contributions to every arena she plays in, rather than for her tennis skills. Golf saw that Eala's audience wasn't merely supporting a particular outcome. In a sport that had never seen them before, they were making their presence known. And following that exhausting 3-set, nearly 2.5-hour Indian Wells triumph over Yasta, in which the temperature plummeted into the desert cold, she discovered a microphone and her voice broke. It means the world to have this community behind me, she remarked.
$1 million over 3 days, over like in 72 hours, and it was really great.
Stay up late, endure the cold, and support me. Did this truly heighten my sensations and emotions following the game? She was not expressing appreciation. It overpowered her. Her voice made it clear that she did not consider the throng to be background noise. She fights through third sets at 11 o'clock at night because of them. Every tournament director, every commentator, and every player on the tour is now confirming what you already knew if you have been claiming for months that this phenomenon was real and that the atmosphere surrounding Eala was unlike anything tennis had ever witnessed. Steve Johnson played in front of the largest audiences in professional tennis, ascended into the top 20, and spent more than 10 years on the ATP Tour. One of the most reputable independent voices in the sport, he currently co-hosts the Nothing Major podcast. On February 25, 2026, Johnson made a statement that no other member of the media dared to make. Does she surpass Sabalenka in size? Is she larger than Coco? Yes, man. It's absurd. Only a standing room. The world's crazy crowds. The number 32 player in the world is the biggest draw in women's tennis, according to a man who has played in front of large crowds for years and has lived inside such venues. It's already there, not moving in that direction. The WTA has never had to deal with what EA stands for. A player whose cultural significance is orders of magnitude higher than her rating. Every competition she participates in turns into a business event. She runs the risk of having half-empty stands at every competition she misses. Next is the Miami Open. Roland Garros and the clay court swing follow. The same issue is being asked by tournament directors from Strawberg to Eastbourne as they watch Dubai and Indian Wells. How can we include Alex Eala in our draw? The more profound question is whether these supporters stay devoted to a single player or become lifelong tennis followers. Eala appears to understand the stakes. On March 7th, she stated, "I have only dreamed of making tennis grow in the Philippines. And now I'm introducing tennis to a whole new global audience." She is playing for more than just outcomes. She's acting out a movement. 3 weeks before to Indian Wells, Eala suffered a double bagel in a quarterfinal against golf in Dubai, losing 0-6 and 2-6 in front of the same boisterous Filipino crowd that had helped her advance to the draw. Instead of making excuses, she publicly thanked the opponent who outperformed her and the supporters who stayed. She returned to the court 7 days later at Indian Wells, where she won a 3-set marathon in the bitter cold of the desert. Dubai sold out. The press room of the Australian Open flooded. On a Thursday night in March, Indian Wells became a Filipino celebration. And without hesitation, a fan alerted the tournament administrators after glancing at them. The entire sport is suddenly compelled to face reality. Only when Alex performs do we pay. She is bigger than Sabalenka, according to Steve Johnson. She changed the game, and Goff thanked her. Eala demonstrated that her relationship with her people is not a publicity stunt by standing on the court with tears in her eyes. No opponent can take it away, and no ranking can quantify it. This is the query. Will tennis itself eventually win over Eala's supporters? Or will they continue to appear only for her? And is that devotion a gift to the sport or an issue that the WTA is unable to resolve? Leave a comment with your response. You belong here if you saw this occurrence before the tournament directors and experts did. This channel follows the narrative as it develops. Miami later this month, Indian Wells this week, and all subsequent chapters. To be present when the next wave arrives, subscribe.